with us, but she had to unfortunately go somewhere. So we have in studio today, not that they don't do a terrific job, because they certainly do. Who do I have in studio today? Nort Johnson is the Community Relations Director, right?
Director of Community Marketing and Relations, and all things fun and good about Faribault. How about that?
And Main Street. And Barb, what is your title again?
Oh my gosh, Gordy, we go over this every time I'm here. I am the Events and Membership Director at the Chamber of Commerce.
Why I can't remember that, I'll never know.
I
I'm getting old.
Me too.
But that's a good thing.
Can be, depends which day you're asking.
Our goal in life, all of us, is to get old, is it not?
Beats the alternative.
Well, that's what everybody says. Yeah. But nobody comes back to tell us otherwise either.
True, very true.
My hope is the next life is much better.
Well, this is supposed to be our training ground, right? And then life after death is our final reward.
Yeah.
So, works for me.
Well, I like the way you put that.
Well, as long as we have, like, blue collar barbecue and the Faribault Lakers and a few things like that, the next life I'll be happy.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
I don't know who I'd ask about that.
But we'll find out once we get there. Lots of items going on this weekend, events. I mean, you name it. And I know Kim, when I visited with her yesterday, we were talking about the fact that we have a 150-year celebration for Bethlehem Academy this weekend. Next weekend it's the Faribault Woolen Mills 150th.
Right on. It's a pretty big deal down there. They're going to have a fair number of events, including, this will take place, by the way, at Slevin Park between the two dams right next to the mill.
Right.
They're going to have an event called the Running of the Sheep. I'm just picturing that. I'm thinking about, is that Pamplona where they have the running of the bulls? This should be a little bit safer.
I would hope so.
Well, it would be a ram if it had curly horns, right?
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have to worry about that with sheep.
Well, the mayor told me he's in the running of the sheep. He's trying to drag me into it.
You just have to watch where you step then.
And I said, get Jerry Grosskreutz. He loves doing that kind of stuff.
I think so. I think you should jump in.
Plus a farm director, it makes more sense than me, doesn't it? Running of the sheep.
Well, they'll need a qualified commentator and announcer to do the play-by-plays, probably.
Well, I don't know about that.
Play-by-play on the running of the sheep.
It would be a first, would it not?
I think so.
We could throw that on YouTube, and who knows? Might go worldwide.
Another Faribault first, right?
Perfect. Right? Love it.
But Kim and I were talking yesterday, and she brought up an interesting point. She was curious about the age of Shattuck, so I checked it out. They're 157 this year.
Right. That's one of the. They got the good spot on the bluff, of course, their first year. But
the Cathedral of Our Merciful Savior is 146.
Mm-hmm.
The Congregational Church here in Faribault is 148.
Wow.
It's the oldest church in Rice County. I did a little research for today's show.
Oh, very good.
And I wanted to use this because I did the research.
Well, it's good stuff.
The oldest church in Minnesota, you know what it is?
The Cathedral? St. Paul?
St. Peter's Catholic Church in Mendota Heights.
Oh, really?
1840.
Oh, my gosh.
Nice.
So by a long shot. The oldest church in America is like 1625, I think.
Wow.
That's out in the East Coast.
Okay. Good to know.
So there you go. My trivia for the day on the oldest churches, because I thought, well, you'd have some churches that might be older.
There you go.
150. So we got a couple more celebrations coming up in the next couple of years. Faribault churches. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, nice. Yeah, there will be. There will be good things to celebrate for sure.
We have a lot to touch on here, folks, and we're going to do that. Carve Fest is this weekend. Carve, C-A-R-V Fest. Everybody thinks I'm saying Carve Fest. It's Carve Fest. Carve Fest.
Wood carving.
Yes.
Yes.
And then our strolls Friday night, and we got the VA reunion we touched on, and the hospice ride on Saturday. They're coming in tomorrow to talk about it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Great weekend. You can go from one activity to another and never get Faribault Chamber. Oh my. I'm walking on eggshells here, Nort.
Big business card to get all that on it.
And Nort Johnson is here too. He is the Community Relations Director, Community Marketing Director for Faribault.
Got it.
And of course here in Alden Main Street.
Alden Main Street. Got a nice busy Main Street. Had some good crazy days turn out last weekend, by the way. And
how did the pump crawl go?
It went swimmingly. We had a lot of participants, and We had some great sponsorships. We actually sponsored Safe Rides Home, and we provided over 30 rides home for people who counted on that and really enjoyed their time, and we made sure they got home safe. Thanks to Tony Langeroot on that for sponsoring.
Thanks to those smart people.
We had, I know we had touched on the frozen turkey bowling that was going to take place down at the American Legion. It was a scream.
I bet it was.
I should go find the Facebook page for Faribault Main Street, and we've got a little video clip up there. It's pretty amusing. It's in a slow-mo. You'll love it. What was really fun, specifically Legion-wise, is the 60-plus people who were enrolled and played the games and did the event. They told me at the Legion they thought probably 45 of them had never been in there before. So this helped, you know, with some of the other venues as well. I mean, we had Pub 31 and Boxers and Signatures, and Grandpa Al's were all involved. So these people that came and partook in the events found out about these other great venues. Walked right by our new F-Town pub in downtown Faribault and brewery. So it turned out really well. We were glad for that. Now this weekend,
just tons of stuff going on.
Get your note card ready, because you're going to have to write this down or you'll forget it, because there are so many things, so many options to choose from of things to do in Faribault.
Yeah, well, Friday night's our stroll. I think that's the only thing on Friday night, right?
Carb Fest will be going on Friday as well.
Oh, that's right, the BA reunion too.
And
That's the 6th through the 8th, and the BA reunion. I'm looking at my handy telephone here. I've got Visit Faribault pulled up, and I can pull up these events. We've got Carb Fest, August 6th through the 8th.
Mobile friendly.
And that is produced locally by the Willock family. Ivan and Chris Willock. Ivan, who is a lifelong resident of Faribault, he and his son Chris, actually, it started, I believe, with their with Ivan's daughter Marnie, who has passed. But it's been a successful event and draws people from around the country and perhaps a few internationally.
There are a few internationals.
Yeah.
You bet.
And Marty was very involved in our Relay for Life too. We miss her every year.
We do too, yeah. She was a good community person, just a good person.
Yeah.
For more information on that, Carv-Fest, and that's Carv without the E,
Right.
CARV-Fest.com for more information on CarvFest 15. Lots of fun. We've also got the Pet Parade on the 6th.
I forgot about the pet parade. How can I forget the 79th pet parade?
Long-standing tradition. Long-standing tradition.
Next year for the 80th, we'll have to do something really big, like fireworks or something afterward.
I think that'd be outstanding.
And then I believe following the pet parade there is a concert in the park.
Yes.
So, holy cow, get a good night's sleep tonight and just run all weekend.
Then it's Saturday. Well, there's the run's Friday, correct?
The cancer stroll
Or the-
begins on Friday night.
Right, the cancer stroll.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Saturday morning.
And Saturday morning. And then we've got the Blue Collar Barbecue and Arts Festival on Saturday. Reading off of their flyer here. Free event, by the way.
Yep.
Free event. Art fair, live outdoor music, beer garden, kids area with games, food vendors, and a washers tournament. Sponsored by the State Bank of Faribault. So that's a busy Saturday.
It is, and I can tell you from past experience, I've volunteered at that event for a number of years. There is really something for everyone. So there has typically been face painting and games for kids and a bouncy house, and there is some shopping if you want to maybe get a jump start on your Christmas shopping, or you just want to get some little things to have around. There has been some art vendors. I know that the Paradise Center for the Arts also, I believe starting tomorrow, has their recycled art sale starting, and that is the benefit proceeds go to help fund the Paradise Center for the Arts, which we should all be so grateful for having that gem in our community.
Oh boy, is it ever. I went to the Play 9 last Friday. Was it phenomenal? Did you go to that?
I wasn't able to go, but I've heard nothing but phenomenal reviews.
Yeah, I told Eric Parrish, the director, after the play. He said, "Well, what do you think, Gordy?" I said, "Well, I'm no critic by any stretch of plays or anything, but I think you could put that play, that very play, on the stage at the Guthrie or Chanhassen, and it would bring down the house.
Wow. Great to know that we have that local talent here.
Yeah, the Merlin players, that was fantastic.
Yeah,
right?
Juliana Sklizacek is a great artist in recognizing talent and bringing that forward, so.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
You know, speaking of art and talent, I think we should mention the Blue Collar Barbecue Festival is a fundraiser for our local Center for Arts and Talents, the Paradise Center for the Arts. Come down and partake, and you'll be supporting the Paradise Center for the Arts.
Yeah, well, the whole event is, right?
Correct, and there's no fee to attend. You would just pay for what you want to do. If you want to get some barbecue, if you want to get a cold beer or some kind of cold beverage, if you want to buy something, you would pay. But to come down and listen to music and walk around, it's free. So you can't get anything better than that.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a couple of years because I've either had a game to do or, you know, Deer Strand days or something happened on the same day, something like that. But the last time I was down there, you got a terrific variety of barbecue too.
Yeah.
Real hot or, you know, not so hot.
Yep, and I think that with corn in season now, we would more than likely see a vendor with sweet corn if you haven't had that yet. There's typically some sweet things to nosh on, and we, of course, downtown have the Ginger Spice Bakery opening on Friday, and she is going to have some barbecue flavored or themed cupcakes available. Something
Wow.
with bacon and then something about dill pickle. So
I heard about the dill pickle ones, and bacon, a bacon cupcake, that's,
maple and bacon.
I suppose it's bacon
Ooh.
wrapped or bacon flavored?
I think
right?
it's probably got some bacon crumbles on top, and to me that just screams breakfast.
It does.
Because there's flour and eggs, and then you have bacon and maple syrup.
Well, there you go.
So,
That's,
you know.
that's just, it's healthy, those are all natural
Yeah.
ingredients. That's practically like jogging if you eat one of those cupcakes.
Wow, I love that. That's a good idea.
Let-
Actually lose weight when you eat it, not gain weight.
That's right.
And the chamber, the Ginger Spice Bakery has joined our chamber, and so we're going to be doing a ribbon cutting there on Friday at 11:45 to officially help them with their opening. So
I'm glad you brought that up, Barb, because Nort,
Yes.
typically what do you do at a ribbon cutting, other than obviously cut the ribbon?
Cut the ribbon, and you mingle with other associates and other citizens in town. It's a good social event, and usually there's some sort of samples for the new business.
there are, and
Is this open to the public, by the way, this ribbon cutting?
I believe so. I think so. Not always, but I think that since she's a public business, I think she would welcome having some new folks come through her door.
Right downtown.
Jamie Hoisington. The other purpose, you know, of a ribbon cutting is to let people know you're open for business and to come in and see what exactly you're going to be doing, and it gives the owner or manager of the business an opportunity to talk to the group and tell them exactly what they are going to be offering. So a few questions, a few answers, a little talk about how this came to be, cut the ribbon, have a sample, and then she will be open over the weekend, and we wish her well.
Yeah, and another reason to come to downtown Faribault.
That's right.
Um,
She's also got a coffee bar in her cake shop, so you could get a cupcake and sit down with a nice cup of coffee, and it just doesn't get much better than that.
And I am very curious about these bacon barbecue.
Well, we'll see you there then, huh?
Well, hopefully, that's part of the plan, yes. I've got a
Perfect.
lot to go to.
That would be great. Yeah, one more reason for Faribault and downtown Faribault. We've got a great business community there, and something that we need to remember as Faribault residents is patronizing your local businesses, whether they're downtown or out at the mall, out at the exits on the interstate, or tucked in any of the many corners that we have amenities in town. If we want to continue to enjoy the ability to shop quality and shop locally, it's good to patronize those businesses. I
Yeah.
know that during crazy days, Shelley and I wandered downtown, gave things a look, and enjoyed talking to some of the people I work with, and made a few purchases, good purchases. I'm just going to say, price-wise, dead on competitive with anywhere else we would have gone. So I need to make that mention.
And the other part that is always kind of tickles me and makes me happy is you can walk in a store and they will call you by name. Good morning, Gordy. How are you doing today? Glad to see you. What can we help you find? You don't get that personal service when you're shopping big box or out of town. And, you know, of course, as Nort touched on, when you shop local, you're supporting a family, a local family. And so, for example, if you go and get your hair cut at a local salon, then that enables that person, obviously, to make that money, to go to the grocery store and buy some groceries, or to take their kids for new school clothes, or to go and buy a new car. So it is a cycle that money, you know, just makes a complete evolution circle, and it stays in our community. So that's vitally important.
Some of the statistics that when I was doing some economic development in other areas of the country, up to 7 times a dollar will circulate in the community. So that's a pretty big deal when you think about it.
Whereas if, to your example, Barb, you go to some other place in another town, that dollar stays in that town.
Exactly
It
right.
goes to that town, doesn't
Correct.
stay here and do the 7 times.
Correct.
And even if you consider some of the big box stores, some of that money will stay in that town and the rest goes to Wall Street.
Correct.
We shop here, it stays here, and you know, the quality's good, to be sure, and the prices are in line, but the service, you can't beat it.
Customer service, second to none in Faribault.
And then, you know, what else you do when you're shopping? You gotta get something to eat. You start counting up the eating options in town. It's pretty nice. Every noon we struggle at the Chamber of Commerce and Tourism to decide what are we going to do today. Do we order in one of those hot rod pizzas, or do we, you know, wander somewhere and get a great salad? Or there's always the sandwiches. Once in a while you got to go that way, but there's just all kinds of options between take out, order up, or sit down, sit in.
And there's no reason to go hungry.
No, for
You
sure.
have a lot of places within walking distance too.
Absolutely. Should we try to add them up downtown? I'll start on one end, you start at the other.
Oh my gosh.
I'll start at, we've got Grand Plaza on this end.
Yeah, just had a taco over there yesterday.
Okay, we have Anna D's, we have Alexander's, we have
Bernie's, the Depot. What's the other
the
new?
coffee shop and Sweet Surprises.
They're making good sandwiches there, for sure.
And great salads. I had a great salad there.
I didn't know they started salads.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And the Subway, the Basilios, Lions. You can get a nice lunch at Lions.
Still grab some food at Grandpa Al's,
Grandpa Al's.
right?
And Lions Meat, she was talking about.
Lions Meats. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
good sandwiches there. Good sandwiches and good jerky and sausage too.
Yeah.
Everything
And-
there's good.
And you can get everything, you know, Fairway Grocery too. They have salads and, you know, cold pasta salads and things like that to
I've heard Boxer's Sunday morning gig is not to be missed as well. So yeah, I'm sure we missed somebody and certainly apologize for that. But that's
They
just
got Bernie's downtown.
we said
yep.
that.
We hit
Oh, you
Bernie's.
did? I'm sorry.
Their breakfast is outstanding
Yeah.
too.
And Signature.
Signatures, all these walking distance from where we're at right now. All of those options. You can buy some furniture. You can peruse some antiques, shoes. This is pretty nice. I know. I look at some of the Facebook comments.
And the variety we have.
Yeah,
Thai, Chinese.
it's here. It's here. But some of the Facebook comments, and not to be a downer, but some people are a little bit less than enthused about what we have to offer, and I'm going to take them to task on that.
They live in their own world.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, you can't please everyone all the
Yeah.
time, so we do the best we can with what we have, and we have plenty. So
I think for a town our size, we've got more variety than anybody.
absolutely we do.
And it's hometown. I mean, they're one-off businesses, almost all of them, which
Yeah,
is
almost all locally owned.
yeah. Okay. So we've got the hospice ride. Did we hit? I mean, we touched on what the hospice ride, or that it was going to be taking place, but that's if you're familiar with hospice care, it's
end of life care.
Yes, and just with some experiences in that area, I understand the importance and the value that they bring to families and individuals who are going through that end of life. So the hospice ride, the ride for hospice, quickly intended to build awareness and raise money for Faribault area hospice and help support patients and their families. It's a 100-mile motorcycle and auto ride. They have raffles, a silent and live auction, food and music and fun. It's held rain or shine out at the Harley-Davidson by the airport. 8:30 to 10:30 registration and breakfast. Registration actually goes through 11. The rides start departing. Early ones will leave at 9:30. They gather back up out there at noon, and 2 o'clock is music, food, and prizes and raffle winners. And when they're done, they can come downtown for Barbecue Fest.
Absolutely. I heard a number that with all the events we have going on this weekend, Faribault could expect to see about 20,000 visitors this weekend with what we have with Carve Fest, the hospice ride, the Relay for Life,
The pet parade.
the pet parade.
International draw, I'm guessing, for the pet parade,
Yeah.
as well as Carve Fest.
79th Thursday night.
Yeah.
Back in the day, the pet parade,
Oh gosh.
and we had the little recreation centers around town. I think I was 6 or maybe 7 years old. They'd pick a king and queen. That's right, this guy was the king of Central Park.
Wow.
In the pet parade.
The king of Central Park.
Well,
That's
this will
right.
be fun now back in the office with the king.
You have to make a crown for him.
I
There you
can
go.
remember as a youngster being a baton twirler with a band that marched, and so, you know, boy oh boy, that dates me back to the very, very early 60s.
Well, back in my first years here,
Okay.
I led the pet parade in a bunny suit,
Outstanding.
a tricycle. I rode the tricycle.
Oh.
The whole parade route, they went from, well, it used to be Snyder's Drug.
Yeah, down Forest.
Down 4th Street.
To Central.
Yeah, down to Central. And it was hot. I mean, it was a hot day. And I just, I was just cooking in this very furry rabbit. But
So
the kids loved the rabbit. I mean, I had hugs from so many kids
my
in
gosh.
Central Park. It was unbelievable. They just loved the rabbit.
You still got that suit. We
Yeah.
could, if we found one, perhaps, would you be interested in participating?
Oh, boy.
And a trike. Don't forget the trike.
Why did I bring that up? I
Barb,
was
you
much,
get the trike, I'll find a bunny
I
suit.
could
We're
find
gonna
a
get this guy.
scooter.
well, I was much smaller back then. I don't think I could fit on a trike now.
Well, what size bunny suit do we need?
Another
to show
incentive for me to
the-
lose weight for next year's pet parade, the
All
80th.
right.
Oh,
How
for the
about
80th.
that?
Let's-
The 80th pet parade.
You heard it here, folks.
We'll have to find a bunny
You
suit.
heard it here, breaking
And
news.
you know what we should do? We should see how many of those kings and queens over the years that they
That's a
had.
great idea.
Get them rounded up and get them into the parade for next year.
For a number of years, when I started working at the chamber, I drove the King and Queen. I had a convertible car, and I got to drive the King and Queen. Oh, how fun. Those kids, there's such excitement and joy in them. They're just so pure and so fun.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful experience.
I did some judging in those early years too. Of I think I had the horses, and you'd
Okay.
have like 4 horses, or maybe 3, and you'd give away 3 prizes, so it wasn't that hard. But well, I shouldn't say that it was hard
Yeah.
back in the day. A lot of fun going on.
Yeah, a lot of fun. How about this stuff we have in this town? The things that, the blue collar barbecue is, we're hitting 7 years now. That's the new tradition. But yet we still got that pet parade going on. Carb Fest, I'm not entirely sure how many of those they've had, but that's another new tradition in Faribault, relatively new. And, how cool. We hang on to some old things, we pick up some new things. What a great place to be. I love
Yeah.
this town.
And just something to put on your radar as you're looking ahead, September 17th will be the 23rd annual Taste of Faribault. We'll be at the American Legion from 5 to 8, and we are going to have a record number of vendors. We've had some new restaurants and liquor providers come in, so you can get a ticket at the chamber right after Labor Day and come out that evening and taste all the great food and some beverages maybe find a new favorite and visit with friends. We have a DJ, we'll have music. It's a super fun night, and really encourage people to come out and taste some new things in Faribault.
By the way, I was told to ask today if the new F-Town Brew will be down at the Ribs and Arts Festival. Do you know?
I think so. I think they're going to have one of their flavors available
Okay.
in the beer area. I'm pretty sure. I'll see if I can hunt up that information.
Yeah, let me know and I'll pass that on
Will do.
to our loyal
Will do.
listeners. If somebody wanted to try it. I haven't tried it yet either. Have you tried it?
Yes, sir, and I wasn't quite sure the first or second time, so I tried it again, and yes, it's pretty good.
I mean, they have more than one flavor.
They
right?
do. They do. They've got some, if you're an IPA fan, they've got an IPAlicious. I kind of like the Nut Browns, and they've got one called Nutso.
Oh.
It's pretty tasty. In fact, I brought a couple of growlers up to Duluth, Minnesota, where a couple of my children and 4 of my grandchildren are. We built a lemonade stand a couple weekends ago, and I brought some F-Town up. They enjoyed it up in Duluth, and they're aficionados, so.
I am not a beer drinker.
Are you as perplexed as I am about growlers at a lemonade stand?
No, the growlers
It's an
was for
adult
the people
lemonade
that
stand.
built the lemonade stand.
Oh,
The
okay.
lemonade
That's
stand was for
right.
the children.
You
No,
lost me there.
Yeah, I'm not a beer drinker, but I have been to F-Town a couple times, and you can buy a sampler flight, and gives you a little bit of each one, and
Oh, cool.
and start with the light and work your way to the dark.
I will
and
have to stop there.
and it's a good way for someone who is not a beer drinker to have an opportunity, and reasonable. So I encourage people to go out and support that local business as well.
Faribault's the place to be this weekend, folks. If that didn't prove it, I don't know what will. All the activities going on in Faribault this weekend. It all begins on Thursday with the 79th Annual Pep Parade. Into the Jungle is the theme this year. Judging begins at 6:15. KDHL.